This is episode 12 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and about myself. However, this episode is a really special one, because in this one we're going to be watching gameplay from the absolute best players in the world. Every single 1v1s and 2v2s match you see in this video will feature Grand Champion ranked players who are ranked somewhere in the top 10 on the worldwide leaderboards, including a few number ones. And just to note that all of the questions answered in this video came from members of my Discord server. So if you want to submit your own questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server and put your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. The details are on screen and in the video description. Alright, let's get into the first match and the first question. Alright, so the first question comes from Divine, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, so what's the best way to score while your opponent is on the wall near their own goal and not letting you get past with the ball? Try to fake them, Yeah, so there's a few ways you can go about this. Definitely trying to bait them out and force them out of the goal is a good way. But that's quite difficult. I mean, they're in a really safe position up there, and they really are just waiting for you to overcommit before they come and clear the ball past you. So I would say the most important thing that you can do is to make sure you don't overcommit. You know, don't let the ball, it's quite easy to kind of go under the ball and they'll just smash it over your head. And then you're chasing back, trying to get back and defend. So you really just want to make sure the ball doesn't go past you at all. And so, yeah, you can do things like drive at the ball and just hit it with your car off the wall, like kind of bounce it off the wall and then drive back. That's one just really safe way. Don't flip into the ball though, that's really important. A really common way that I always use, that I often use and that I see Grand Champion players using, maybe you'll see in the footage in the background, is gold shotting it off the back wall and then kind of following it back and then, basically you want to get the ball out of that corner and give yourself some space so that you can take a shot. That's a really good way. I would say that's probably my main recommended way, and I think it's probably the way that I have answered this question before in the past in past AMA episodes. You can also try purple flicking. That's quite a good way, but you just need to make sure that because you're popping the ball up, you don't want them to then clear it over your head really easily. So maybe purple flick and then immediately turn around and go back. Just get ready for a counter anyway. But yeah, the gold shot off the back wall method is really safe and I would say is my go-to for sure. All right, good question though. All right, next one comes from Avalon and they ask, "Hey, is it possible to demote from Grand Champion to Champion?" No, as far as I know, it's not possible. I think it's the same actually for bronze. Like you can't actually go back into bronze by losing matches. So you really can only go down to silver 1 and then you can't go any further. So you can just lose match after match after match. You'll never go back into bronze. And as far as I know, it works the same way from Grand Champion to Champion. It's possible that if you don't play for say a whole season, or say, yeah, if you don't play for a whole season, then the rank that you start the season at will be, say, Grand Champion Division like 0, once the season resets. And then, but to keep that rank, you need to get at least 1 win in Grand Champion. So if you don't get at least 1 win in Grand Champion that season, then next season you'll start down at Champion 1 or Champion 0, whatever. So that's how it works. So the only way you can lose Grand Champion is by not playing at all or not getting any wins that season. You can't actually demote out of it by losing. As far as I know, I've never actually been to Grand Champion, so I don't know. But that's how it works from silver to bronze, and as far as I know, it's the same from Grand Champion to Champion. But yeah, good question. Next one comes from Shadow Legends, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, can anyone reach Plat or Diamond without using mechanics like gold shot, purple shot, stall, etc.?" I mean, not using... I think you get to platinum with 0 mechanics. Like, you really... Yeah, it's not like you need gold shots or anything. If you're including, like, red or, like, blue, like, power shots in that, then... I can't imagine not using a single mechanic. You kind of need to be able to at least take a shot. Take, like, a red shot. It'd be an interesting challenge. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you need those mechanics at all to get into platinum. you just need decent positioning. You just know, you need to pancake into your 50s, and you need to know when to commit and when to go back, and how to kind of shadow defend and make saves and stuff. So you need to have good judgment, but I don't think you need mechanics to get into Diamond. I mean, I think you'd struggle unless your game sense was just so ridiculously good and you never overcommitted, and I would say Platinum definitely you can get into easily with no mechanics. Diamond, I would say you'd struggle. I think you kind of need gold shots, and stalls help obviously, but yeah, I mean you can get very, very far with just game sense. I think mechanics are honestly overrated. The main mechanic you really need, I think, in your arsenal as you get into the later ranks is stalls. They're just so important, particularly into late Diamond and then Champion. You pretty much need to stall, I think. It's just it's a free hit on the ball, so your opponents are always going to have a huge advantage. If they can do stalls consistently and you can't, then you're just going to be at a disadvantage. But yeah, anyway, good question though. It'd be interesting to test it out. All right, next one comes from Rash X Mixer, and they ask, Mogz, what do you think would make the game better? I have answered this question before. I'd say at the top of the list, I would say, I think there really needs to be some kind of custom training. That, it seems to be essential. At the moment, if a player wants to learn something like stalls, they need to go into the hoops arena and use the kickoff to pop the ball up to themselves and then start their stalls, or just to get under the ball without it moving around. You can kind of you can make the ball stop dead on your car, and then you can start your stall chain like that. So the hoops arenas are really good for that, but we're kind of exploiting the hoops kickoff when we're using it in that way. So I just feel there needs to be a training arena, or there needs to be some training mechanics that just pop the ball up to yourself. Why not just pop the ball up directly, vertically from the kickoff? That'd be really useful. You just press one button, it pops the ball up to you, and then you can start a stall chain. So I feel excuse me, I feel that's just an essential feature that needs to be in the game. I don't know, it seems easy to add. So I think they need to add that. That's the first thing. That's something that Rocket League already has, and people love it. People use it all the time. So that's really essential. Other than that, I think in-game tournaments would really breathe some life into the game. You could have just as Rocket League does, you just have daily tournaments that people can join. You can get, tournament rewards, or you get tournament credits, and then you can use those credits just like we use SP or those other tokens. It would just breathe life into the game and get people coming back into the game every day, or every week, as just other than the daily item crate, which is just cosmetics. So yeah, I think tournaments would be really good. And also, obviously, trading, I think everyone would love. That would kind of add this whole other level, a whole other part of the community. People who want to play the game just for trading. And, Rocket League has a really thriving trading community, and I think it's one of the main reasons a lot of people play the game. So I think those three things are absolutely essential. So custom training mechanics, and trading, and also tournaments. Those three things would be absolutely amazing. I think would just breathe so much life into the game. Great question. Next one comes from I can't pronounce that. And they ask, Mogz, do you think tournaments would be a good addition to Rocket League Sideswipe? Yes, I do. Good question. Next one comes from Arik23 Pro. Arix Pro? I don't know how to say that. Arix Pro. Yeah. And they ask, does holding flip have an effect on gold, purple, red shots power? No, it doesn't at all. It has no effect. The only effect that it has is how far your car will jump away, I guess. I mean, on a purple shot in particular, it'll push your car further away from the ball when you do the jump, just as it does when you hold jump normally. In terms of flipping, I don't know, actually. That's something I haven't really tested. If you hold jump when you're flipping, does that affect the movement of your car? That's actually a good question. I could test that out. It's not something I've tested. But in terms of the power of the shot, no, it has no effect. The only effect on the power is the momentum of the ball. So as I taught in my gold shot tutorial, and probably in my purple shot tutorial as well, you want to get a touch on the ball first before you do the gold shot or the purple shot. So all right, hold on a second. Can we just appreciate what on earth Wacky just did? Okay, so he started here. He went for a stall, got a follow-through gold shot. Then he got a reset and some boost. And then he used his flip to push his car back towards the ball. Got a flip reset, at which point he had like 5% boost maybe. And then he proceeded to do a stall chain with what? 1, 2, 3 stalls, and then a follow-through gold shot that put the ball directly over his opponent's head and into the goal. I mean, what the hell? That is insane. As I taught in my gold shot tutorial, and probably in my purple shot tutorial as well, you want to get a touch on the ball first before you do the gold shot or the purple shot. So you want to basically push the ball. If the ball's flying towards you, you want to kind of touch it so that you stop the ball and maybe even hit it back the other way, and then do your gold shot, and then you'll get the maximum power. So yeah, basically hit the ball just before you do the gold shot, and you'll get heaps of power. If you don't hit the ball and you kind of gold shot it as it's still coming towards you, there's that area behind your car that you can get the gold shot if you're, it's like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter, whatever it is. Then you'll get a really weak one. So it's the momentum of the ball is the most important thing that determines the power. So yeah, great question though, but yeah, I have answered it in multiple tutorials. Next one comes from Fogz, and they ask, if you could use only one mechanic, what would it be? I would say the thing is that I don't think you can really go past stalls, and I'm sure I've answered this question before. Stalls are just a free hit on the ball. So, it's something you can do so much with, and maybe you could go even further, kind of like more shallow in terms of what a mechanic is, and say flip resets. Flip resets and all of the different ways you can get a flip reset are just essential. Like you can do the fast aerial flip reset, which gives you heaps of speed, and you can use it in defense, you can use it in offense, you can use it all over the field. That's an essential mechanic or essential move for higher ranks in particular, like diamond champ, so on. So I think maybe just flip resets are probably the one mechanic. Yeah, if I couldn't use anything else, that would be the one. Because then you got flip resets, you got stalls, you've got white shots, and MacTuffs and all of those. Anything that involves a flip reset are just essential. It's just a free hit on the ball. So I think that one would be my choice. And I guess if you want to say, okay, flip reset's too basic of a mechanic, then I guess I would say stalls are probably the one that I would go with. Because it's just so useful. I mean, it's never not useful, and it's a free hit on the ball. If you get you get a bit of boost back left. You get a bit of boost back as well. Then yeah, that would be my choice. Other than that, I guess gold shots are just so good. Because then you can do the follow through gold shot as well if you want to stay with the ball. So yeah, if I can choose two, I'd say stalls first, and then second gold shots. Yeah, good question. Next one comes from Zach, and they ask, hey Mogz, why am I playing against champs in Plat? Yeah, this is something I hear a lot of people complain about, that they're getting champion rank players, or they're getting higher ranked players in their division, in their rank. I mean, it depends what their rank, like it depends how you're able to tell what rank these people are. Like, if you know them and you know their rank, okay, that's one thing, but if you're just going by their banner or their title or their avatar or something, then I don't think you can really say this is currently a champ player playing in ranked. Like, they could have gotten the banner or the avatar or whatever from multiple seasons ago, back when, at the start of the season your rank reset. Your rank went down to the previous rank, in which case maybe they just didn't play for a few seasons, so they got to work their way back up. Or yeah, maybe they're just maybe they're champion in 2v2s, but you're playing against them in 1v1s. Maybe they're really high plat in 1v1s. You know, you don't really know. Also, I would say like something that happens with matchmaking in Rocket League, and I think a lot of competitive games, is the longer the queue, the wider the net. You know, so if you're say a Platinum 3 player, and you're searching in a queue, and you at the start, when you start searching, it'll be searching the, you know, Platinum 3, Platinum 2, Platinum 4. But then as time goes on in the queue, as you're waiting, you know, trying to find a player, that net will get wider. So the range of ranks that it's going to be searching for will get wider. And eventually it might get up to, you know, Diamond 1, Diamond 2. I don't know what the maximum range is for Sideswipe, but yeah, that's definitely a factor as well. And as the community shrinks, as the game kind of dies, that's just going to happen more and more. The game's going to have to search a wider net to find players for you to play against. Otherwise, like, the only other option for the game to do is say, sorry, you can't play. Like, there's no players for you to play against. Go do something else, which it's not going to do. So it's going to keep making the net wider until you find a player. So that's definitely a factor. The shrinking community means you're probably going to find more instances where you're getting, you know, higher ranked players in your lobbies, and, you know, but at the same time, you're also going to be playing against lower ranked players, because, you know, they're searching for players and struggling to find them too. So their net's going to be finding you when it should be finding lower ranked players. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's basically as you wait longer in the queue, you're gonna stand a higher chance of getting players that are further away from your rank. But yeah, it is a common problem, and yeah, unfortunately, it's probably only going to get worse as the community continues to shrink. That's a shame, but that's just part of the reality. All right, next question comes from Easy Orca, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, what are your recommended settings for controller players?" Yeah, so this is a good question. This is actually something I recently changed. So my settings, my like key bindings on my controller, I changed when I was learning sideways stall chains. So I was trying to get really fast at stall chains, and so I rebound my L1, my half air roll button and my continuous air roll button. I switched them. So the default settings are the half air roll is L2 or LT, the trigger, and then continuous air roll is LB, yeah, L1. And I didn't like that because I often use half air roll and I didn't want to push the button in too much, so I switched them, and so now my half air roll is L1 LB, and I prefer that. So that's my recommendation. Definitely, if you want to get really fast at stall chains, you want to have a button that's really easy to press. So I think L1 LB is good for that. Other than that, I haven't changed anything. Yeah, and I guess, like, if you want to call the grip style, like how you hold your controller, a setting, then I use the claw style. So it's the same as on touch. When I play 3 fingers, I use my index finger for X, and then so that's jump, and then my middle fingers for boost. So I don't use my thumb on my right hand. I use my index finger and middle finger. So it's claw style. Yeah, and I prefer that, definitely. So yeah, that's a good question though. Next one comes from Just Turtle, and they ask, "I'm stuck in silver. Can you please help me get better, or tell me what I should do to train to get better?" I mean, silver, I've already done a short stack tutorial, so you can watch that if you want silver tips, because you'll still, yeah, in 1v1s you'll still be in silver. But really, I mean, for that low of a rank, so as I was saying earlier, you don't need mechanics at all at that rank. And especially stalls and stuff, I think most of the time you're just going to mess yourself up if you try to do heaps of stall chains. You'll put yourself in trouble most of the time, honestly. So I think the main thing you really need to do is pancake on all of your 50s. That is 100% essential. And if you do need to flip at some point during the 50, flip towards the ground if you're down on the ground. Or, yeah, I mean, flip towards the ground, that's like general advice, because you kind of want to you want to push the ball down towards the ground. That should be your priority when you're 50ing. You don't want to push the ball up, because you could push it up and over, because they're going to be trying to push it over your head. So I recommend pancaking, and then if you have to flip down to just like push the ball away from you, But as you flip down, you'll go straight down to the ground, and you have your flip and boost back, and then you can use that to recover if you need to. So yeah, pancake on all your 50s, flip down towards the ground if you have to flip, and when you're taking shots, don't just try to flip towards the ball to take the shot. Just use the body of your car as a ram, and just try to push the ball into the goal. Don't just flip into it to like brute force it into the goal. You just almost never do that. And yeah, I guess using mechanics, you can use a gold shot or a purple shot to take the shot. They're always safe. But don't use a red shot. Don't just flip into the ball to take the shot. It's the instinct, I know, to do that, but it's not going to help you. It's a really bad instinct. You need to just train yourself to stop doing it, basically. But yeah, those are my tips, and go watch my short stack tutorial if you want to get them. Yeah, some other tips as well. But anyway, those are the most important ones. Next one comes from Cobster99. Cobster99. And they ask, I just got into Diamond Rank. What are some tips? Diamond Rank, I mean, that's tough. That's my rank. So yeah, I mean, congratulations for getting there. I think it's pretty hard to get into Diamond these days, especially for newer players. Tips on Diamond Rank, I would say get really consistent with your stall chains. I think that's something that still Diamond players often struggle with. So your mechanics are probably going to need improving once you get up to that rank. And stall chains are, yeah, absolutely key. Maybe accuracy on your gold shots is quite important as well. Other than that, I mean, it's just about general game sense, and just reinforcing that message of don't, flip towards the ball, and, and pancaking on your 50s and stuff. It's just really about like improving your reflexes, improving your judgment, and I think once you get to that rank, you really need to be looking at your mistakes and analyzing your gameplay. So record a few matches and just go and make sure you can identify your mistakes, and then maybe every match you can kind of have a list of like all the mistakes that you've been making, and try to just not do one of them every match, and you'll eventually get through all of them and stop making all of your major mistakes. And I'm sure if you can do that, you'll find that your rank just increases really quickly. So that's not something I've done myself, because I'm not like a grinder. I'm not constantly trying to get higher ranks. I'm more interested in teaching the game and learning stuff from other players, and then passing that information on to you guys. So but yeah, I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. That's something you need to be doing. You need to analyze your gameplay and fix your mistakes. But yeah, good question. And the next one, and the last one about Sideswipe, comes from Mogz and they ask, does a car have a huge impact on the player? No, I don't think so. I mean, the hitboxes are all the same on the cars. The only difference is how well the cars fit inside the hitboxes. So the cars are really just a psychological effect. If you really like the car and it makes you feel good, then maybe you'll play better. But the cars are not important at all in Sideswipe. They're not. I think in Rocket League they're more important, because there's like multiple different types of hitboxes, like 5, maybe 6 different types of hitboxes in Rocket League. But in Sideswipe there's just one. So I think when you get used to a car, then that's probably the car for you. So just, yeah, maybe there might be a slight effect in terms of the missing parts of the hitbox, like the mantis, the whole back is like not even really there. It's way outside the hitbox. And otherwise, there's maybe a little effect when you're doing stalls on the central point, what looks like the central point of the hitbox. If you want more information on that, you can watch the video on screen. I'll link it. But yeah, it's a very minor effect, and I think the biggest effect is just whether or not you're used to that car. So yeah. But yeah, good question. All right, the next few questions, I think we got 4 questions, maybe 5, are about me. They're not about Sideswipe. Maybe there's a little bit about Sideswipe, but they're mostly about me. So if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, then you can switch off now, or just enjoy the gameplay on screen. All right, so the first one about Mogz comes from Hoodie, and they ask, what app do you use to website? I am assuming he means edit, or they mean edit. And do you do all of your edits by yourself? So the app that I use to, like the video editing software that I use is DaVinci Resolve. When I started doing YouTube, I was using Filmora. But when I started, just before I started doing Sideswipe content, I switched to DaVinci, and I love that. It's a really great program. That's on PC though. I don't think you can get any version of it on smartphone. But that's what I use to edit my videos. I also use GIMP, it's like this Photoshop kind of software to do some of my, to make PNG files, to make if I'm making an octane with a border or something, I'll, for thumbnails or for in videos, I'll use that to do that. But that's really basic stuff. Just otherwise 3D paint on Windows 10. And I do, my edits, 99%, or all of my videos in the past, all of the editing was done by me. 0% was done by anyone else. The only time I've used anyone to do any editing is I recently did a video on, I think it was the 2-thumb control style, where I actually got Jelly to do a montage. And so we kind of worked on that together. He did the montage, and he sent it to me, and I made some changes to it and added some kind of glossy stuff and extra stuff. But the main montage itself was made by Jelly. And that was the first time I've ever done any editing with another creator. And I love it. It's one of my favorite edits of any of my videos. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's just awesome. It's so much fun to work with another creator to create something. It's really fun. So those are the programs I use, and I do all the edits. I do pretty much everything myself. My thumbnails though are made by a guy called Wider, and he's done all of my thumbnails, I think, since it's been 4 months or something now, since my BlueStacks tutorial. He's done pretty much all my thumbnails, so they're all bangers. So if you're a creator looking for a thumbnail, dude to do thumbnails, highly recommend this guy. He's amazing. All right, next one comes from Hoodie as well. I didn't realize he had 2 questions. They ask, what's your favorite video you have made? My favorite video? God, good question. I don't really know. I love the mechanic showcase videos. They're really fun to make. That's a good question. I don't know. No, I don't think I have a one favorite video. I would say I have favorite bits, favorite edits. I think my stall video way back in the day was one of the clearest and most useful tutorials I think I've ever made. So just my basic stall tutorial. It's got some good editing, and it's really useful. So I would say that's probably my favorite video. But then my editing has been, I've got some really cool editing that I was really happy with, spread throughout a whole bunch of videos. Like my Golden Octane video, I really liked the editing of that. That was really fun. Good question though. Next one comes from Zogs, and they ask opinion on having a Sideswipe YouTube channel. Having a Sideswipe YouTube channel, I think, is a tough gig, because the game's just not, the developer's just not putting much into the game. So I don't recommend it. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, I don't think Sideswipe's the way to go. And there's no replay tool, match replay tools or anything that makes editing easy in Sideswipe. Whereas, you know, games like Rocket League have tons of nice like replay tools that you can do, like blurred backgrounds, and you can do all this cool stuff in there. So yeah, Sideswipe unfortunately doesn't have any tools that make being a creator easy. It doesn't add anything to my videos. I kind of have to do all the glossy stuff, the cool, you know, edits and everything just totally myself. So that's a bit of a shame. And just having the channel, I mean, I love it. Like, I mean, I love being a creator. I love having the community. I love engaging with you guys, you know, chatting with you on Discord and replying to comments and all that. And just, you know, making videos, obviously. But I'm not passionate about Sideswipe itself anymore. So I would, you know, I think I would like to pivot to some other games. I would like to cover some other games that I was maybe more interested in and more like, I'm not great at, like, I'm maybe a good teacher in Sideswipe, and I'm not really a good player. So I'd rather have a channel about a game that I was like really good at and really passionate about, and that wasn't dying. That's probably the other thing. But yeah, it's an interesting question. All right, and second last one comes from Duxyar, and they ask, "Hey Mogz, if you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing? And do you still hang with your brother?" Yeah, I mean, my brother's in Japan with me at the moment, so he's visiting. He's been visiting for the last few months. So yeah, I mean, we hang out all the time. He's my best friend, so yeah, we play games together all the time and hang out as much as we can. Yeah, but he doesn't live in Japan. He lives in Australia. So we don't see each other very often, but yeah, we definitely hang out a lot. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, what would I be doing? I'd just probably be doing what I'm currently doing, but I would just be doing more of it. Like, you know, as you guys know, I do teaching I'm like an English teacher in Japan, which a lot of foreigners do. And I have like a store, like an online store as well. So those, I would just be doing more of those. I'd be putting more of my time into those things, but I'm not passionate about either of those things. So YouTube's where my passion is, you know, being a creator is where my passion is. So, but actually, like, I was thinking, if I wasn't doing YouTube these days, I'd probably look for, I'd probably look for editing work. I'd probably try to get into editing for another channel, because I love video editing. I mean, it's something that I never realized was like my dream job. But yeah, it 100% is. Like, it's just, I could do it all day, every day, and I'd be totally happy. So that's probably what I'd be doing. Honestly, I'd be, looking for some editing work, probably. Good question, though. And the last one comes from Arik23 Pro. Again, actually, had a Sideswipe question. Do you play Minecraft? No. I used to play Minecraft way back in the day when, I think before it was even a game, like, I don't know, it was like a mod or something, or it was free, I can't even remember. I don't think, it was way back in the early days of Minecraft anyway, before there was any of these like crazy advanced features and modding community and like, yeah, none of that stuff. I played it with my brother, and we like built little houses, and yeah, it was fun, it was cool. But I didn't play it for very long, and yeah, the Minecraft of today is totally different from the Minecraft back then. So yeah, no, short answer, no, and probably wouldn't. I mean, it's probably not my kind of game anymore, I guess. But yeah, good question. And that's it. Those are all my questions. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for submitting their questions. I really love reading them, and I really appreciate that there's still so many of you who want to ask questions. So if you do have any questions of your own, please put them, come join the Mogz Discord server and put them in the Ask Mogz channel. And don't tag me, by the way, just you write your question. And also thank you so much to all of the top 10 Grand Champion players that sent me their matches. Massively appreciate it. You guys are absolute legends. I just respect all of you so much for your skills. And yeah, all really nice guys as well. So thank you so much to you guys. And I'll put all of your like social media stuff and everything on screen and in the video description. So go check them out. If they have channels, they'll be in the video description. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. As usual, hit the like button if you liked it, and the dislike button if not. And subscribe for more videos like this and a whole bunch of other Sideswipe and maybe some other game content as well, maybe coming soon. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.